There are two business owners in this world. One, those who wait for opportunities to knock, and number two, those business owners that continuously seek ways and create opportunities for themselves. I bet you're a little bit like me. I'm number two. I'm a small business owner that's always looking, seeking for ways to grow my business. So today, I have Joaquin Barba, get in here, Joaquin, from Gellyfish Commercial to discuss all these different ways for you to leverage and ultimately grow your business. Thanks, Joaquin. Thanks for being here.
No problem. Thank you for the invite.
I gotta know first the name of the company. So Gellyfish Commercial. Right. So tell me a little bit about that.
So it's our motto in our company is transparency, right? So the clients and everything we do is very transparent. That's the reason the name of the company.
How long have you guys been in business?
Our company itself, it's been in business for about 3-4 years, but our father company has been in business for almost 20 years. We do commercial lending, but a little bit of other stuff too. So we do marketing and insurance as well for the businesses. So that's why we help them grow a little more.
All these different ways that business owners, right, can actually leverage their business and seek ways to continue to grow it. One of the niche programs that you guys have, the niche products, is SBA Loans. What is an SBA loan?
Mainly two products, right? So that's either a 504 or a 7A, depending on what we're using. Both of them can be used for real estate. The 7A has a few other options, right, to purchase a business or for working capital. Mainly we use it for real estate, right? And the best thing about it is it could either require a very small deposit from 10% to all the way to 25% down, right?
Okay.
Depending on the type of business and the type of transaction. It's a special product because it has a little more flexibility than a conventional loan.
And in order to qualify for an SBA loan, what are some of the qualifications that you must have?
You have to be owner occupied, so you have to occupy at least 51% of the building, and then you have to be in business for at least 2 to 3 years. There's special circumstances, right? If the business is booming and it has a special niche, right? That's growing, and we could justify 1 year. The ideal situation you would want is 3 years, right? Because we usually require them to be in business 3 years. This is depending on the business, because there's a lot of business, especially in the medical field right now, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of those businesses right now are booming, are growing because of what's changing, right? So some of those businesses could, fall into that 1 year or 2 year.
So there is some flexibility there for the program, depending on the type of business, right?
Yes. And that's why it's a special product that we like to offer because of that, right? There's flexibility in the product.
So would you say that it also depends on the type of property then that someone is purchasing?
It depends on the property and depends on the building as well. So that's a key factor, because let's say if your business requires storage, product, and you have a storage container in your parking lot, that's considered part of your 51%.
And what type of property would fall into qualifying for an SBA loan?
Anything from a retail property, it could be a retail property, a mixed-use property, anything else that's manufacturing, office buildings. Those could be considered, because it's a government program, right?
Yeah.
So anything that you could actually walk into a bank and open an account, pretty much you could acquire that loan, right, and use it. The only other thing is maybe hospitality, right? It's a little harder, but for the most part, everything else you could use an SBA.
How are rates for something like this? How are interest rates for an SBA right now?
An SBA rate is pretty good, especially let's say for a 504 in a real estate transaction. 40% of your loan is guaranteed by the government, so that 40% is going to be lower than usually if you walk into a bank.
Lower interest rate. Right. That's good to know. I want to go back to what you said about SBA, and then there being a few types of the SBA loans, right?
Right.
Yeah, so can you break those down, Joaquin?
Key part is there's a 504.
504.
Which is 504 is used for real estate. And what it consists of is the government's guaranteeing 40% of the loan, and the bank guarantees 50% of the loan. Right? So 40% is what usually it's guaranteed by the government, and that's going to be a little lower rate usually than the bank. Right? So the bank is going to finance the 50%. Best part about that is that 40% is transferable. So if you buy a bigger building, you could transfer that loan with that lower rate into a new building.
And keeping that rate?
Yes, nothing changes.
The same rate. Doesn't matter what's happening in the market.
No, the rate could be at 6% and your rate is at 4.75, and that rate will sit. The other option is a 7A. 7A, that one could be used for real estate, right? Working capital. And then to acquire a business. So let's say you're trying to buy out, the restaurant down the street or a bakery down the street. You could use that 7A to purchase the building. You could finance it through there. And it usually goes up to 10 years, depending on the bank, right? For the most part, it's 10 years.
And are the rates kind of the same as well?
They're a little higher, right? Because it's a higher risk, right? You're purchasing a business, and the financials is based off of the performance of the building, of the business, sorry.
Yeah. So Joaquin, these last few years, I know a lot of business owners have struggled through a pandemic. Their business has been affected, and even their FICO scores, their finances, their FICO scores. So for an SBA loan, is there a minimum FICO, or is there some flexibility there too?
There's some flexibility. That's the nice part about the product. It just depends on the situation and what is it that is driving that FICO score down. If it's a logical explanation, right, something that it could be, unexpected life occurrence, right, or they were sick, right, a lot of people were sick with COVID.
Yeah.
So there's ways that we could explain to the bank if it's reasonable. They could be overlooked, not overlooked, but we could move past that. Let's say they have a solid business, but something happened during the past 2 years, let's say, that drove that FICO score down, right? So as long as we could justify it and explain the situation, for the most part, we can do it.
That's great to know. It's not like a hard number that you have to be at with the FICO score. That's really great to know. There are business owners that already have an SBA loan, right? But are looking for working capital now. What would you say to them?
So for businesses that already have an SBA loan or looking for working capital, or their loans too, there's different things that we have. So one of the products that we have that could help clients is we have what's called a bridge loan.
So Joaquin, what is a bridge loan?
It's just a product that we could help clients with getting out of a situation like that, or getting out of an SBA loan that their bank isn't willing to help them out. Which, when it comes to clients are trying to leverage their property, when it comes to working capital and fixing the rate and term, that's an option that we have, right? That we could get them out 2 to 3 weeks. And then find the right loan, find the right rate, and get them the right amount of money for them.
Would the qualifications be pretty similar to someone qualifying for an SBA, the same to qualify for a bridge loan, or what's the difference?
Depending on the property and the value of that property that it has, right?
Okay.
So that's pretty much what drives that loan. So that's why it's very quick. For the most part, you don't need any environmental stuff, any appraisals, right? So the company itself does a lot of investing in a lot of areas, especially in Long Beach.
Okay.
Right, that's the key part. So just the property drives the transaction. Key part about the bridge loan, we need an exit strategy, right? Because it's a short-term loan. So we can't put you on an exit strategy before we put you on the bridge. We wouldn't do it.
So you gotta you fund it pretty much. You fund it and then you look for products for him.
Right, no, so we have the product before.
Ready to go.
Before. We're not gonna put you in, because it's a short-term loan, right? We wouldn't do that to a client. Right. So we already have an exit strategy before we put you in that loan. It could be from simple fixing financials, fixing a property, right? So we guide you in the same ways. So let's say if your financials aren't there, we could put you into a bridge, right? Help you fix the financials. We could help you, refer you to a CPA, right? Or, talk to your CPA and say, hey, this is what we need to see. Right, so that's the key thing. So we help people go into what they need to go into, right? And not just leave them there, right? We help them with the next step too. So it's actually, kind of fulfilling, because we could even help them fix financials, right, and report it the right way, or help them grow the business a little more. A bridge loan is actually really good for investors too.
For investors, when they're trying to purchase or refinance.
Right.
Okay, wait. That'll be part 2 on how investors can use a bridge loan to their advantage when they're purchasing or refinancing. Part 2. Let's recap. So we have discussed SBA loans, the different types of SBA loans, how to use SBA and bridge together. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty empowered. Really empowered. So if you are a business owner and you are looking for ways to grow your business, leverage your business, working capital as well, now SBA loan may be the way to go for you. So Joaquin's information is down below. If you have any questions for him, any scenarios you'd like to run by him, they can contact you directly, Joaquin. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have found this video valuable and informational, don't forget to like it, comment below, and follow me. Bye.
Bye.